India is a massive country, home to over 1 billion people. With a GDP of $1.83 trillion, India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. 17% of this is contributed by the country's agricultural sector, a sector that employs 70% of India's population that lives in villages and backward rural areas. Cities like Mumbai and New Delhi might boast of top-class healthcare facilities, but India's rural population has a lack of formally trained healthcare professionals. High-tech diagnostic equipment and facilities are non-existent, and access to the latest medicines or treatments is negligible. The people that pass for doctors in rural India vary in skill set from ancient MBBS graduates to compounders who have served with city doctors.
मैं यहाँ चांदपुर 3 फरवरी 1968 से
I have been practicing in Chandpur since 3rd February 1968. In 1966, I completed my BSc Biology. I read Dr. Aerosmith by American author Sinclair Davis. I was very influenced by it and was inclined towards medicine. My father passed away and I was under financial strain and had to get a job. So I took up a job as a compounder at Dr. A.R. Rahman's in Lucknow. I worked with him for 5 years, and following that, I started my practice here. Swashtya Yatra is beneficial to doctors like us, the untrained ones, the non-MBBS lot, or the quacks as we are called. It's extremely beneficial.
मतलब अनट्रेंड समझिए, नॉन MBBS, ये जिसको झोला कह सकते हैं, झोला छाप डॉक्टर हैं, उनके लिए बहुत कल्याणकारी।
These rural healthcare professionals lack the training and experience that real city doctors have. But for the poor village population, they are the only choice if someone is unwell. The nearest government hospital might be a 10-kilometer ride away, a ride sometimes so bumpy and hazardous that going to the local doctor is a safer alternative. In such a bleak scenario, there was a ray of hope. Even though the population might be poorer than the norm, their buying power is slowly increasing. This is an opportunity that could not be ignored, a challenge that had to be accepted. Merck was faced with a plateauing growth curve in their traditional urban market and started looking towards rural India for growth. The rural business unit, whose portfolio included medical classics like Polybion, Evion, and Cosome, knew they had good products that needed just the right push in the rural markets. Thus, Swashtya Yatra was born, a novel initiative that promotes Merck's extensive portfolio and at the same time trains village doctors in new techniques and updated uses for Merck products. The Swashtya Yatra van is a self-contained unit that travels with a driver and a Merck representative in 5 states of rural India. The van contains an AV display kit that consists of an LCD screen, sound system, laptop, and built-in power supply for the electronics. The van drives into remote villages and the team sets up a makeshift presentation room wherever they can. Local healthcare providers are invited to attend a meeting where they are told about Merck products and their uses in everyday ailments that might affect the villagers. The healthcare providers also get to see videos explaining updated techniques in first aid. For example, this video on how to suture minor trauma and cuts, or this video on deferring treatments for wet and dry coughs.
After watching the video, I felt my knowledge has increased. If you keep up with this presentation and video releases, our knowledge will always be updated and Merck will prosper for the foreseeable future. And the poor rural population will benefit from their medicines. The Swashtya Yatra initiative from Merck is highly beneficial. Doctors can increase their knowledge and hence the patient get better remedies for quicker recovery, and I think it is a brilliant program for rural areas. If the doctors are better trained, it's evident that the patient will obviously benefit. I'll always support Merck as far programs like these are concerned, and I hope they continue with their initiatives.
The Swashtya Yatra program is very satisfying. The videos shown are beneficial to the doctors, and when it helps the doctors, it helps the patients too. they are
क्योंकि
interconnected.
जनता से कनेक्ट है डॉक्टर.
Doctors have not only reduced using local generic brands to treat their patients, but pharmacists state there is more awareness of diseases and Merck products since the Swashtya Yatras have started visiting these remote villages.
पहले के अपेक्षा जो है
The results are better than expected. The doctors prescribe Merck products more than before, like Polybion syrup, Livogen, Cosome expectorant, Cosome plain, and Neurobion Fort. These used to sell before, but now they are selling very well.
क्या है बहुत बढ़िया उससे ज़्यादा बिकने लगा.
जब से आप आ रहे हैं तब से लोगों में
Since you started Swashtya Yatras, the people have become more aware of Merck products. Neurobion tablets used to be popular, but people had forgotten about them. Because of this program and its constant engagement, sales have now increased.
दोबारा मिला मुझे मार्केट में.
Patients have also benefited as Merck products are relatively cheaper and more effective. They can also be assured that there has been no compromise in the manufacturing of the medication. Merck Swashtya Yatra has not only been a boon for the villagers of rural India, but for doctors, it has meant a convenient and effective way of keeping up with the skills that matter to them the most. The doctors then use these updated skills to treat the patients who visit them, thus delivering better healthcare all around.
अनुभव बढ़ता है जैसे किसी को
Experience, as they say, increases. For example, if someone doesn't know particular technique, new techniques, Swashtya Yatra keeps us abreast of these techniques. It helps us better deal with patients. For example, new first aid techniques for accident trauma cases.
नई नई टेक्नोलॉजी पता चलता है.
जो मर्क स्वास्थ्य यात्रा इसकी है कंपनी.
Your presentations are like knowledge revision for us. We might have forgotten some things we learned, but during these presentations, we refresh our knowledge. It also gives us an opportunity to collaborate and consult with each other.
और दूसरा एक दूसरे का कोऑपरेशन मिलता रहता है.
The benefits of Swashtya Yatra don't stop with the rural population of India. Merck sales figures also show a progressive growth, and this trend looks like it will just get stronger. A successful model can only be judged by the results it delivers, and the Swashtya Yatra is a positive revenue generating plan. A plan that aims to cater to rural India, that represents more than half of the potential market size of a country that isn't looking back as far as economic growth is concerned. Swashtya Yatra is an initiative that delivers the much required healthcare to the most overlooked segment of Indian consumers. A trend that can hopefully spread to the rest of Merck and drive the prosperity of the organization for the foreseeable future, while helping bridge the gap of healthcare knowledge and access in the potential markets of rural India.